Okay, everybody, it says I am live. Excuse me. Welcome, everybody. The other day, I did it. Excuse me. Welcome, everybody. I did an intro the other day talking about not switching, but doing more homesteading stuff is where I originally envisioned not the channel itself, but my life going towards homesteading as I got older. Hey, Little Texas. So that's what this is about today. It's just another edition. I'm going to be doing a homesteading playlist. The live from the other day was the kickoff. This is just some more information. So what I'm doing is, you know that everybody knows I do gardening. I do some stupid dad jokes. I work in the wood shop. I build things for the garden. I've increased the garden a lot from 100 square feet to 3,000 square feet. Plus now I'm adding vertical growing. So it's going to continue to expand. Even though the footprint's not getting bigger, I'm going up much like a tower. So I'm gaining like a 2-story house. I'm gaining square footage as I go up. Also, I'm growing inside, or I'm working towards the growing inside. With that said, I'm trying to get people that grow, people that garden, whether indoor or outdoor. I don't care if it's a hobby, if it's indoor gardening, outdoor gardening, if you're working off of a terrace. If you're successful at it, I want you to be part of this. I hope that you join the lives, that you'll possibly, follow my channel. We can do collaborations together. What I want to do is tips, tricks, gardening tips, homesteading tips, getting prepped for times when food might be at a shortage. We've seen it. It's happened in this country many times. Really brief segue. April 24, 2024, we had a tornado about 8 miles east of us. It passed over us. It didn't come down over us. It just the storm pattern passed over us, dropped just past us, and wiped out the grocery store in town. This area is highly populated by elderly and retired people, so it became a hardship for them, and it still is because it's not rebuilt yet. And then I was already growing my garden, but it was then that I said, I'm not going to allow the weather, a company, anybody determine whether I eat or not. We know 2019 and 2020 was tough for everybody. People couldn't get into stores all the time, or things were running out in the stores. And I said, I'm going to grow enough. I want to be up to the point where I can grow enough nutritious food for me and my family and my neighbors, if need be, without having to depend on anybody. It may not be the best food. It may not be the most delicious food, but it'll be nutritious, it'll be organic, it'll be healthy, it will keep you alive. We just watched that hurricane go through. We watched other hurricanes come through, and people are, they're hurting from that. So if you can be set up and prepared for that, I'm not talking about building a compound and fencing it in and hiding out from the world. I'm talking about having a month or two spare food where if something happens, if the water became tainted or a tornado hit your grocery store down the street, and you have to go 30 miles to get groceries, it's more of a planning thing. And if you're elderly and you don't have a car, some of those people, they'd go once a week and they would plan it and they'd carpool just over to a 5-minute jaunt over to the store. Now it's 45 minutes. Then they got to drive down there. They got to deal in the bigger store down in the bigger city. And by the time they get home, half the day's gone. Hey, Janet, how you doing? So that's why I'm doing this. And so I'm really looking for people that really want to comment in the bottom after the lives are over, to hook up online and do collaborations with me. I'm really looking to do some collaborations with people that do gardening, indoor, outdoor, hobbyist gardening, whatever you grow. If you grow herbs inside, I don't have any luck with that. I'm terrible at that. I would love to have somebody that would come on board and walk us through that, do a collaboration, how they do it. I do very well with potatoes and green beans. I can help people there. I'm doing okay with pumpkins. I can help people there. I'm terrible with tomatoes. I kill tomatoes. Me and tomatoes, I love tomatoes, but we do not see eye to eye. They just won't listen to me. Anyways, so getting there, going towards this homesteading, if that's something you're interested in, I hope that you can email me at okieseden@gmail.com. Say you want to do a collaboration. Let's talk about gardening. Let's talk about homesteading. Let's talk about preparing if a time and stores are shut down and you can't get food anywhere. Do you have enough water and food to survive a week until things get back to some sort of normalcy? So I kind of just jotted down a few things here. Number one, storage. That's the one thing I'm starting to focus on a lot is storage. By storage, I'm talking canning, which I've done in the past years ago. I'm going to start that again. Pickling, busy after 60, Brenda. I never knew this. She bought a little thing of pickling, the pickling liquid, which you can make, but you can also buy it. And then she cuts up her cucumbers, pours it in there, and they're good for like 1, 2, 3 weeks, whatever. Well, the way I grow, I'll harvest some cucumbers today, and then I've staggered them out, so I won't have any till the next week, the week after, the week after. So I could just have some of those bottles here, and instead of going through this whole pickling process, I could just have these jars of the pickling juice, and when I get enough to pickle, I just bring them in, wash them, boil a couple of mason jars, cut them up, throw the pickling juice in, and put them in the fridge. Eat them, and then in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll have more to pickle. So that's my plan there on some pickling. I will get into longer term pickling, just that's a short term solution. Sealing, vacuum sealing. I think if you watched my video the other day, this is a cool little unit. Whoa, wrong way. Cool little unit, look at this thing. This is not a paid promotion. I got this online. It has a dry vacuum seal, a moist vacuum seal. So if you're doing like a stew, or I did the puree, or it just has seal, which just does, I guess it just, if you have a regular seal bag or something like the dual seal, the Ziploc bags, I think that's what that's for. And then you have a little vacuum port in here where it gives you a little hose so you can seal up other stuff. But I use the dry the most. It literally takes, you push the button, it sucks the air out, and does a seal process. It takes 10 seconds. You're done. That was $29. $29. And I think we even had some credit. So, I mean, it didn't cost us $29. But I have sealed up. This is roast pumpkin with chili, smoked paprika, garlic, salt, pepper. And by vacuum sealing it, it sucks it in, and that's only going to get better with time. The flavor of that's only going to get better. This is something I thought about one night. I was laying in bed, and I came up with roast pumpkin with maple cinnamon glaze. So this is roasted pumpkin. I did a video. It's coming out. I put hash marks in it with a knife so that the maple syrup and the cinnamon would get down in there. And I roasted this, and then I broiled it at the end. So you can see a lot of the caramelization. And I ate one of these, and I'm freezing one of these, and I have more pumpkins harvested, ready to go. So I will be doing more of this, and more of the roasted pumpkin that's more of a savory dish. As far as dry, that there is some pole bean seeds. Hey, Broke. Nice to see you. So this is pole bean seeds. There's probably 500 in here. I can do one of two things with this. I have enough seeds to grow next year. I don't need to use these, but I didn't want them to oxidize. So you get the oxygen off them, they won't oxidize. I can use these for seeds again next year if I want, or this will go into my dry storage, and I make bean soup with this. I get a ham bone. I buy a ham that has the bone in. I'll do a bunch of ham dishes, keep the bone, then that will go in here, and I'll do a ham and bean soup. It's great for homesteading, really easy. And what's nice about this, when I'm ready to use this, I just turn the water on, boil it. It's like a sous vide. I toss this in, 5 minutes later, this is done. I can take it out. I have maple, cinnamon pumpkin. Oh, there you go. Yeah, keep shelling peas. Keep shelling all you can. I know in my area we want to start doing some seed trades. So I have these. I have cucumber seeds. I have pumpkin seeds. Both. Yeah, I'm gonna have sugar pie and Connecticut field, and then I got some other ones. I got pole bean, bush bean. So I have like 4 or 5 types of seeds that next year I'll be able to trade off with people within a mile of my home. My son and I are collaborating next year with our gardens. He does really good with tomatoes. I don't. I kill tomatoes. I don't know why. I've never been able to grow tomatoes. They hate me. So he grows tomatoes great. So he's going to grow tomatoes. I'm going to grow green beans, zucchini, pumpkins, potatoes, all things that I grow well. And then we can just give back and forth. And his garden's about the third the size of mine. So we're going to have this really, really vibrant garden where we're going to have plenty of yield, because we want to get to the point where we have 6 months, 8 months, a year of food where we don't, if anything happened, we're set, okay? Or you just don't have to buy, you don't have to go to the grocery store and buy green beans anymore. You don't have to buy potatoes anymore, so on and so forth. So freezing, vacuum sealing, dehydrating. I have an air fryer oven that also does dehydrating. I've done bananas in it. I've done carrots in it. It does really, really good. So I'm going to start utilizing that. I will do videos on all of these things. I've done one with a vacuum sealer. I'll do a canning video. I'll do a pickling video. And that's what I'm hoping, that we'll get more people involved. People will jump on board. Email me at okieseating@gmail.com. We can do a collaboration on gardening, homesteading. We can share ideas. Beforehand, we can email back and forth what we want to discuss. So it'll be a very informative live stream, not just me telling dumb dad jokes, or me, somebody just acting goofy or, whatever. To have where people can really come together that are trying to homestead, that are trying to garden and trying to feed their family. I was thinking about this the other day, and I mentioned it in my last video. If you've been watching the last couple of years, the last 5, 6, 7 years, they've always been saying, a great, maybe even the majority of the people in just the United States alone are one paycheck away from being without food, possibly being homeless, losing their job. I mean, if you lose your job and you're one paycheck away from all of that, having your car repossessed, being kicked out of your house for foreclosure, that's scary stuff. So what I've always tried to do in my own life, just as a rule of thumb, is what can I control? I can control the food I grow. So I can grow green beans, I can grow potatoes, I can grow a lot of them. I can freeze, I can pickle, I can dehydrate, I can do all of that. So I want to get a community together that's kind of the same mindset, and then we can share ideas. What do you grow better than me? Why am I struggling growing this? What do you do different than me? I'm in this zone, you're in that zone. What's the difference? Why are we having problems? I'm having this crop failure with this one crop, but this other one succeeds for me but fails for you. So we can actually discuss all that stuff. So that's what I really want to do with this channel on the homestead lives, because I want to do one a week, maybe at least, where we're talking about homesteading, gardening stuff, and trying to improve our gardens. My doctor a few years back told me, your health and weight are one in the kitchen. So if you're cooking a bunch of garbage food and eat a lot of fast food, it's going to show. It's going to show in your health. If you're growing your own food and eating healthy food and trying to eat right and trying to live a clean, eating, healthy type lifestyle, it's going to show. So he likes to say, he was not big on medications. He liked to say, it's one in the kitchen. Hey, Zena, how you doing? And I thought that was great. When he came, the first time I met him, we were talking, some of these doctors like to push meds, and he was just like, hey, do this. Do you cook a lot? I said, yes. He goes, okay, that's one. Your health is one in the kitchen. Keep doing that. Keep eating healthy. Keep doing this. Eat this, eat this, eat this. It'll help you. And, he's a doctor, but he was an older doctor, so I think he's more of the mindset of, let's get to the underlying issue instead of just putting a Band-Aid on it. I'm not trying to get into that. I'm just saying that's what my doctor told me. And I agree. I was in full agreement with that. So getting past the stuff on how we're going to be storing foods, growing. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah. I'm doing very well, very well. Had my grandson last night. He slept good. I didn't. But that doesn't matter. He slept good. That's what's important. Did some stuff with him this morning. Had a good time. And came home. Tried to catch a nap. Didn't work. That's okay. I'll sleep tonight. And then I just got down, sat down, started writing stuff down, drinking lots of coffee until I go to bed. So anyways, growing, gardening. I started the garden, 100 square feet. Started the channel, knowing that I was going to grow the channel in real time growing the garden in real time on my channel. Use your words, Okie, use your words. And so it went from 100 square feet to 3,000 square feet. And that's not even including vertical or indoor or whatever, or grow boxes or stuff. But if there's anybody out there that wants to do collaborations that does regular old-fashioned, I'm talking dirt farmer, grow in the dirt like I do, crawl around in the mud, put potatoes in the ground on your hands and knees. That's what I enjoy. That's my favorite kind of gardening. If you do that, I want to collaborate with you. If you do potato towers, if you grow in buckets, if you grow vertically on trellises, I'd love to have a collaboration with you. If you grow indoors and have success with it, I would like to collaborate. So if you do any of those, I don't care if it's a hobby or you're trying to do it as far as like homesteading and trying to prepare so you always have food, boom, let's do it live. You just got to email me at okieseating@gmail.com. I will respond. I'll get back to you. I always do. It might take a day or two because it depends on what's happening in my life, whether I can get back to you that day or the next day. But I will get back to you. But I've done horizontal. I've done the trellises, the vertical, towers, and buckets. I do terrible. I do terrible with herbs. I can't grow herbs. They hate me. Tomatoes hate me. They just literally do not want to deal with me. Herbs. I'm trying to grow chives now. I'm trying to grow cilantro. And they flip me off. They give me the bird every time. It's just like, no, I'm not going to grow for you. Give it up. I'd love to collaborate with somebody that does herbs inside because I want to grow herbs inside this winter. The other thing I want to get into is seedlings. I never grow from seedlings. I grow from seed. I plant in the ground outside. And that's not always the best way to do things because I know like tomatoes and peppers, if you can start them inside, which I don't do well at. And that's why I want help with that. So if somebody can do a live stream with me where we collaborate, we can discuss so we can try different things and help other people figure it out. I want to do seedlings because I want to do more pepper plants next year. Also, I want to get into a simple hydroponics. There you go, Zena. See, I have not. I've not been lucky at all. So I've been studying. I want to get into hydroponics inside because we like lettuce, and you can grow lettuce hydroponically. And I'm trying to let me see if I can find it here. I go basic first, so I'm looking for the most basic form, and I know I saved this. The easiest hydroponic system for beginners is the Kratky method. The Kratky method. That's off of Google, and it's a passive deep water culture system. It requires no pump, no electricity. That's what I want. I don't want to have a bunch of power cords and pumps and water spraying around. I don't want that. I want something simple. So I guess that method there I've been looking into doesn't require any of that. So if anybody has anybody used the Kratky method, I would love to do a collaboration with somebody, and we can talk about that. So if you want to do a collaboration, I am all for that. You can come on my channel. I will happily go to your channel. just email me at okieseden@gmail.com and we'll get it done. I'm gonna, in the next couple of weeks, I have an outdoor growing idea because I live in Oklahoma. I can still plant now. I can plant in September. I'm even gonna push it into October on some short grow stuff. Okay, so you did a little hydroponic grow light thing. Okay, that might be what I'm doing wrong. I just need to do like a hydroponic thing. The other thing is winter. I have a winter outdoor growing strategy I'm going to get into. I'm not going to get into it today. I am researching it. It's an idea that just popped in my head the other day on how I can grow outside in the winter year round. Because every once in a while, you will get down close to zero here in southern Oklahoma. It's happened. Last year we had a foot of snow, believe it or not. It happens. Typically though, it doesn't. So, we might get into November, December where it's still 50, 55 during the day and maybe 40 at night. So we're not dealing with, when I lived in upstate New York. Yeah, cold frames. When I lived in upstate New York, you'd be in February, you'd have a week or two of -5, -10 Fahrenheit. It was just cold. Can't grow in that stuff. You just can't. But if I can grow when it's 20, 25, I have ideas, and I'm going to share them with you because I'm going to build the unit, and I'm going to do it on a live maybe, so we can all watch and talk about it, or I'll just do a video. We'll figure it out and then do a live afterwards and see how it works. Because if I can grow all the way into December, early January here in Oklahoma, I'll never have to buy another potato in my life. Because I can grow potatoes, outside. I can do 200, 250 pounds of potatoes, store them inside the way I store them. That'll carry me through the winter. And then the only thing I need to do in the winter grow is to get me through to the spring to when I start harvesting more potatoes. So if I can do potatoes year round, then I'm golden. I can survive any event as long as the plants survive. Cold frames. I'm going to write that down because I've never heard of that. And maybe it's something that I'm on that, maybe that's what's in my head. Maybe that's what's rolling around up here in this gray matter, the sponge. And then seeds. Seed storage, trading seeds. We're going to be doing that. So I have seeds. I have pole bean, bush bean, pumpkin seeds, 2 varieties, cucumber seeds. And my neighbors and I, my son, we're all doing a bunch of different types of growing. That's right. If Jennifer can survive in Alaska, we can too. But that's going to be the gist of it, everybody. So if anybody, wants to jump on board, and if you do already grow and you want to do a live stream talking about how you grow, what you grow, so we can ask questions to each other about how we do certain things, because everybody has techniques. I learned from my dad, my granddad, and an old farmer I worked for. He was one of my relatives. He had a dairy farm. We milked cows every day. Yeah, email me sometimes, and I'd love to do. We can do one. Talking gardening and stuff, or homesteading, or canning, or what storage. All those things I listed in the beginning. If it's some kind of storage, if it's indoor growing, outdoor growing, growing herbs, seeds, drying seeds, tips, tricks, hacks, whatever. We can develop it before we even go live. So when we go live, we have a list. We're working off the same data, and we can just talk intelligently, and then people can ask questions, and then they can give us some responses. And I just think that would be really cool, because this is next year. My garden will be completely 100% composted. I have so many pumpkin leaves and pumpkin vines and cucumber vines and leaves and green beans and everything that's greening up now that's going to get turned back into the soil. And I'm producing 2 gallons of compost a week. it's all going to be composted. So I'm expecting a banner year next year for yield as far as growing and harvesting. So, and that's the other thing I'm going to do is I've got some mason jars ordered and pints, and I'm not going to have the stuff to harvest now because it's just not ready. But I'm going to do test runs. I'll do lives where we're actually canning something together. I know how to do it. It's just a matter of doing it. And we haven't had that stuff in years. But now that I'm getting back into it, I gotta get set back up again. And once I do, we'll do some test runs. I'll buy some vegetables up at the store, and I'll can them, and then we'll taste them a month or two later. And then when I get into full swing next year, because I'll harvest 2 or 3, 4 times next year, so I'll be doing canning 2 or 3, 4 times. Because I'll start planting seedlings here. I can plant in January, February, and then I can put them first. Usually, first week of March, I can be planting stuff outside. And I've had success the last 2 years planting stuff outside and having it succeed. So I can be, like this year, I was already harvesting, early May, I was harvesting green beans. My in-laws up north couldn't believe I was harvesting green beans in May, early May. They don't even start planting till late April, early May up there. And here we're eating green beans like we're a bunch of rabbits. But anyways, that's where we're at. So if you are interested in doing that, email me. We'll set something up. It won't be today or tomorrow because I want to know what we're going to be discussing. We can get a list together. We can collaborate back and forth via emails, get it all set up, and then come up with an itinerary, talking points for that live, and then we can just hit it and go for it. Yeah, I lived up north, and the problem with up north is beautiful country. I loved living in upstate New York. Fall time is my favorite time of year up there. It's just one of the most beautiful scenic areas in upstate New York. You get near the Adirondacks, Catskills, the mountains, the Finger Lakes, Great Lakes. It's just a beautiful region. But you start growing, if you start in May, and then all of a sudden you can get a surprise frost. You can lose crops. You may not get a second chance. So you might have to wait till mid-May and then plant. And then September you're harvesting, but then you don't have time because you can be getting frost in late September, early October. So it just is what it is. Down here, I can start planting in January to get seedlings if I want, and I can start planting out there. I can plant an apple tree in February because it's dormant. I can still plant it, and then once the springtime hits, the roots can take off. So I'm going to plant 1 or 2 more apple trees. Yeah. And so that's the advantage we have down here. So, the disadvantage here is I can have all this stuff planned. I can have my freezer full. I can have my pantry full of canned goods and dried goods, and a tornado can whip through here and remove it all. So every region has its advantages and disadvantages. Up there you get one shot at growing pretty much, unless it's a short, if it's a short run like a radish or something where you can grow them in 35, 40 days, you can do 2, maybe 3. But like down here, I'm on my 5th or 6th radishes. I'm going to harvest those next week, and I'm just going to replant them. I'm going to keep planting radishes until they get killed off by the cold weather. If I can get 10 grows, 11 grows of radishes, that to me is just ridiculous. Yes, beans. I was harvesting beans in May. I harvested beans in May, June, July, because I had stagger planted my rows. I planted rows, waited 2 or 3 weeks, plant a bunch of more rows, 2 to 3 weeks. And that's the other thing I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a live eventually, and if you can see this is what my goal, this is what I like to do, is I got planting 1, planting 2, planting 3. So I plant this planting first. I'll wait 3 to 4 weeks, plant second planting, 3 to 4 weeks, plant third planting, 3 to 4 weeks. This stuff will start to harvest. Then I'll replant again, and then so on and so forth. I'll just keep going around the square, or the L shape, or whatever it is. And then once I get to July, in each corner, I'll start planting pumpkins. And let the pumpkins take over, and zucchini in the middle on trellises is what I plan on doing. So that's my goal for next year, and I'm going to actually do a live. I just have to get out there with my tape measure. I want to get exact measurements because I use graph paper. So I can actually do a key, and I can do it to scale. So I can make each square equal 1 foot. So, you know, if it's 35 foot, I can go 35. If it's 70 feet long, I can go 70 squares. And I can actually draw it to scale. Then I can figure out how many rows I'm going to put in. How many rows I'm going to put in, where I'm going to put my trellises, and I can plan it. Because this year I'm planning trellises because some of your lettuces and kale and stuff, they don't do well in the beginning with too much sun. So if I'm planting trellises 4 foot high with cucumbers and pole beans, and then behind that I can plant lettuces and kale, so I can get them early morning sun, and then when you start getting into the 80-90 degree weather and the direct sunlight at noon, it's hidden and getting shaded by the trellises, is what I'm trying to accomplish next year, because I know which way the sun runs here and everything. And you know, as long as the earth keeps spinning the same way and nothing happens with the way the sun, you know, rises and sets, I should be able to nail it down pretty good by next year. But other than that, that's what I'm shooting for. So like I said, if you want to connect, email me, okieseating@gmail.com, or go to the comments below. Anyways, if you're here, go down and put a comment in the bottom after this goes public, which it will in about 15 minutes. Once it goes public, give people an opportunity to check your channel out. I've set up a playlist. I know Zena, you have some playlists. I've played your playlists. I was playing some, not yours, but somebody else I was playing last night. I have a playlist that's going to say, it says watch. And that's going to be, you know, 20, 30 videos of mine that I like, that if anybody wanted to go in and help me out with hours, they could click playlist, let it run overnight, and then I just let me know you did that, and I reciprocate. I'll also help you with your watch hours. And that's just another way to help each other to grow. And I just want to throw that in there. But because playlists are there, they say to use them, so let's use them. Let's use them to our advantage. So with that said, it is Friday. I can't believe it's another Friday. We're heading into Labor Day, which is crazy. I hope everybody had a great Friday. It's the weekend. Be careful. Just be nice to people. Be kind. Try to help people when you can. Have a great weekend. And get out in the garden and get dirty if you can, if you have a garden. If you don't, just go out and play in the dirt anyways. Who cares? And with that said, I'm going to close this down. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate everybody staying and commenting and liking. I really do appreciate it. You guys have helped me immensely. I love my community. This is a great community. Everybody here that I know in these, that keeps giving messages and stuff, I know them from from Facebook, from YouTube, and they've all been very supportive and very good to work with and talk to and visit their lives. And so with that said, everybody have a great weekend. I have a video coming out tomorrow on my roasted pumpkin with maple cinnamon drizzle. That's coming out tomorrow. It was delicious, by the way, just so you know. It was delicious. It was so delicious. I'm going to be doing about 2 or 3 pumpkins just that way. So stay tuned for the homesteading stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.